And like I say, this is going to be my top 5 smartphones of 2013. And in fact, the list was a lot more difficult to put together than I had first imagined. I thought I would pick these 5 out very, very easily, but when I started to think about the list itself, it actually became a little bit more complicated. Now, these ones aren't in any particular order. These are just my top 5 phones, and in fact I probably should have made this my top 10 because, like I say, it was quite difficult to narrow down to 5. But please do let me know your top 5 smartphones down in the comment sections below. I'd really love to hear what you guys think. And let's get into the video itself. And the first phone, and like I say, not in any particular order, is this one. This is the Lumia 1520. Now, this phone is absolutely fantastic all across the board. It's got insanely good specs, fantastic screen, absolutely incredible build quality, and a beautiful camera on the back. 20 megapixel sensor that takes fantastic video and photos. But the main reason I put this into the top 5 is because I think this is the first phone from Nokia with the Windows Phone operating system that has the specifications to match all of the other phones that are out there on the market today from other manufacturers with other operating systems. And I think when you're looking for a new phone, if you're looking for one with this kind of size, then I think you've seriously got to factor in the Lumia 1520 into your decision making. The only thing that lets it down is the lack of applications. But other than that, for me, this has definitely got to be in my top 5 phones for 2013. Now, next up for me, and this probably would be my favourite phone if I absolutely had to pick one of 2013. A lot of you guys who have been watching me for some time will know what this is going to be before I pick it, but here we go, and it is the HTC One. I absolutely loved this phone, and in fact I still love this phone. Now, when it came out, it did have top of the range specifications. They did something slightly different with the camera. Instead of going for a normal sort of 8 or 13 megapixel camera, they actually went for an ultra pixel camera, which gave this phone really, really good low light performance and enabled you to use it in a lot more different circumstances than you would do normally with a smartphone camera, and did a really great job. The other thing they did differently on the HTC One was the speakers on the front, and now we look back on it, it seems so simple to do, but these front-facing boom sound speakers really do make the media consumption on the HTC One absolutely fantastic, and a great bit of innovation as well from HTC, and hopefully now push other manufacturers to start actually putting some effort into the loudspeakers on their phones. Other than that, the best thing about the HTC One is the absolutely beautiful build quality, completely made out of aluminium and just feels totally beautiful in the hand all the way round. And on top of that, an absolutely fantastic screen. Now, also with the HTC One, HTC really didn't balls up the skin that they've put on the operating system. They used HTC Sense, and although this is not everyone's actual taste, for me it's definitely the best skin that's out there on any smartphone today. Obviously not quite as good as having no skin at all, but for me the Sense 5 or 5.5 as it is now with the latest update is actually a very, very nice, attractive and fast skin. So for me, like I say, if I absolutely had to put a #1 phone out there, then it would be the HTC One, and has definitely got to be right up there in the top 5. Now, next up, I'm going to put in the iPhone 5S, and the main reason for that being is because there was some real innovation with the iPhone 5S. Now, a lot of you may say, well, how is that even possible when it's exactly the same as the iPhone 5? But they added in 2 things that, for me, really did actually add some serious innovation. The first one of those is Touch ID, and when you actually look at the HTC One Max's implementation of fingerprint sensing, you can really see just how good Apple's implementation was. It works flawlessly, it's simple, and I think great innovation there from Apple. The next thing that they did that no one expected was they actually brought out a 64-bit processor, and now the complete operating system has those 64-bit capabilities, meaning that moving forward it really is a future-proofed operating system and also a future-proofed bit of hardware as well. It's also got that beautiful build quality and still a fantastic camera, along with that new great functionality in the slow motion. So the iPhone 5S for me has definitely still got to be in those top 5. Now, next up, we have got something that's just a little bit different, and the reason for that is the price point. All of these other cameras are really right at the very top of the pricing range, But the Nexus 5 comes in at a very, very reasonable price, and you get an absolutely ridiculous amount of performance and specs for the money that you're going to pay. And for that reason alone, the Nexus 5 has to be in there, along with that brand new KitKat operating system, and obviously the completely skinless operating system, that completely native Google feel. And this is a great phone for the money all the way around, and you're definitely not going to be disappointed when you pay out the small amount of money that is required to get the Nexus 5 in your possession. Now, last but not least, and in fact least is probably the worst actual word that you could use to associate with this particular phone, this is the Galaxy Note 3. And the reason I say that is because this thing really is no holds barred in terms of specifications. It's got 1080p beautiful screen on the front, it's got an excellent camera on the back, a 13 megapixel camera, and along with that it even supports 4K video. 3GB of RAM and the very latest and fastest processor make this the highest spec phone on the market today, and it really is a great phone. The only thing for me that kind of takes away from it a little bit is Samsung's TouchWiz skin. Not a fan of that, but then again it does add some great functionality. But the Galaxy Note 3 has to be in the top 5 because it has the best specs of any smartphone on the market today, as far as I am aware. And there really are no flaws with this phone whatsoever, other than the fact that it has that TouchWiz skin over the top. But anyway guys, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not already. Let me know your thoughts of the top 5 smartphones down in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next video.